everybody. Welcome to Dirty Thursday Racing Wives. Salute to women. I can tell this is going to be a hot show. We've already got the AC going. Can you believe that? We got the AC going on in February. Joining us today, myself, Dale the producer, and of course our co-host Stephen Lewis. We have got Savanah Strand, Bryce Hastings, and my wife, Laurie, for the first time ever. A lot of stuff to go over today. Our show, by the way, brought to you by the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show. It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult, and veterans are absolutely free. There's going to be a raffle with $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. Get your tickets by calling Scott at 406-899-5247 or Timothy at 701-739-1605 or go to rrvmnd.org. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Get a phone numbers. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to call or text. Our number at the studio is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. We got a ton of stuff to go through before we even start talking to the ladies today. The first thing we've got to get done is our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. And first off, if you see the thing on my hat, on my head, yeah, it is my birthday today. I am getting old, so here's the joke I've got for today, and you're going to like it no matter what, Dale. You know what? I might drink too much. Actually, the last time I gave a urine sample, had an olive in it. What a round of applause.
On the rocks.
On the rocks.
Yes.
There you go. How you doing, man?
All good. All good. Yep.
Lake Cameron Ice Racing, before we get going, bummer. I was hoping to get down there and call a race coming up, but they have canceled the rest of the season. You know what? Guys like us that don't ice race, that's not a bad thing for me. I mean, that just means it's getting warm. But that's too bad for them because after last year, they didn't get the full schedule in. Dale, I want to talk to Dale, the producer, quick. You got to announce some motorcycle racing last week in Thief River Falls at the Ralph. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was a blast. It's always a good time there. My second year doing it, the Extreme International Ice Racing at the Thief River Falls, Ralph Engelstad Arena. Kind of got the photo on there that I was using from the last couple of weeks to promote it. And yeah, a bunch of quads and bikes, and they did a couple intermission junior kids bike races. There were some 5 and 6 year olds on little e-bikes, and yeah, they tore it up. They put on a good show. The races are just fast and frenetic, and yeah, always have a great time. It was a great afternoon show. Great seeing everyone out there. The riders were great, and the great promoters, great staff. They tour across the country. They're taking a little bit of a break before they make their next stop, but yeah, always a great time having going out there for the second year, and yeah, hopefully maybe be back again next year. We'll see. All
right, there you go. And of course, Nick Curtis won the race again today. He's always the first one to text us. Good morning. And
undefeated this year.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good 7-0 going into today.
I know. I think he just has it programmed into his phone, and then he just kind of hits it. A couple of things I want to show you. First off, Katie, one of our producers from back in the day, brought me some cupcakes and a bag of Doritos for my birthday. This came from you, right? Savanah Strand, along with, this is really cool. If you caught us when we were at the World of Outlaws, the Methanol Moonshine, Wade Onger brought that from us, the Australian. This one is for Dustin Strand Racing, and this is so cool. If you could see the back and the inside of the bottle.
I really wish we could zoom in on that, because it's a victory lane photo. You can see through the glass there. That's a really nice touch. So.
And this stuff is, that's okay. This stuff is spectacular. I love it. I also got a case of beer. I got a mailbox. And I got this glass here. I am 59 plus middle finger. How about that?
And I grew up on the east side, and my east side math, I'm not sure what that means. So
that means 59. There we go. There we go.
Anyway.
And again, thank you for all the happy birthdays and all of that kind of stuff. First off, I want to mention something here. Those of you that know my wife, Laurie, she's never been on the show. She swore to God she'd never be on the show. And I really, I want to give Savanah and Bryce a thank you, because if you guys weren't here, she would have never showed up here. But we had a tragic accident happen in our family. A really bad one yesterday down in the Twin Cities. Our niece and nephew and their 4 kids were involved in a very bad traffic accident. Our 11-year-old, their 11-year-old daughter is she's not going to make it. They're waiting for the rest of the kids to get out of the hospital. They all got beat up pretty bad. An 18-year-old guy ran either a stop sign or a stoplight and T-boned them. It was totally tragic. We'll probably be heading to the cities tomorrow. Paul, the producer's on his way down there now. So if she doesn't seem like she's in her normal jovial mood like we normally see at a racetrack, there you go. I had to do everything I could to even talk her into coming in here. Can I talk to you first now?
Sure.
Okay, just bring it right up. You don't have to lean into it. Why the hell did you decide to come on here now?
Well, I really thought about canceling.
I know you did.
It's been a really tough couple of days. But like you said, it's probably best to be surrounded by friends and family.
There you go.
I'm sure having been around loved ones is the best thing to do, and we'll get through it. I've got some. I'll get through it. So here I am, and tonight we'll celebrate your birthday, and it'll be
right now.
good.
Right now, I'm not going woohoo. I mean, it's a horrible day. Not a good day to turn 60, but anyway. Okay, we're going to be talking to you. We're going to be showing some pictures. Let's go across. First up, Bryce Hastings is back in the studio. Bring it right in front of your face. How you doing? How you doing, Mrs. Hastings?
Oh, I'm doing so well.
Because the last time you were on the show, you had a whole different name.
Last time I was on here, I was still a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. He's still a girlfriend.
I've been promoted to wife status now, happily.
And coming from Laurie and myself, I was very fortunate to get to officiate your wedding. Beautiful. It was a beautiful wedding. It was a lot of fun. I actually had another guy come up to me here just like a week ago, and I knew him from somewhere. Oh, it's when we were at the Moose.
Yep.
And he goes, "Hey, did you officiate this wedding?" And he goes, "I was in the wedding." And I'm like, "Oh, now I know who the hell you are." But how's married life? Are things different for you now?
It's the same.
It's the same. Yeah.
We lived together for about 4 years.
Yep.
Before we.
You just had to go through all the headaches of having all your shit changed, your names and your all that kind of stuff.
Not that bad.
Really? Okay.
It just kind of stinks. You have to make the appointments to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Okay, here's the first I'm going to do. She married the headache. Everything else is gravy. So I know he's watching, and he knew something like that was coming. So.
Oh, boy. A lot of people already texting in. And by the way, welcome again. I'm glad you guys are here for our Salute to Women on Racing Wives. Savanah Strand in the studio, too, for the 3rd time, I believe. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You know, I went to see you yesterday, and you weren't there.
Yeah, I ducked out.
I did get to talk to Dustin. I've never seen that many cars in that shop at one time. But then again, I'm never usually there except for during racing season. But man, that place is crazy busy. How are your kids doing?
Really good. Busy. Tate is, I think, fully potty trained now.
Oh, there you go.
Just finished up her first year of basketball, and Paisley's, they're on 2nd season.
Okay.
So they have 2 tournaments down and 1 to go, and they're kicking butt.
Okay, so you're about ready for kid number 4?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, good.
Good. And I want to talk a little bit about the reason why we do these Racing Wives Salute to Women is any other racing show you see, you get the race car drivers in there. I mean, we're different. We like to get, fire and rescue. We like to get promoters. We like to get mechanics. And we like to get racing wives and the other half, the better half, if you will, to kind of find out what things are like, not just at the racetrack. We're so used to going and seeing the 8H or the 71, and you don't really get to know them. And if you really want to get to know them, you got to talk to these people, because these are the ones that really find out how you are wired. First off, I'm going to start with you. I know you're not a racer's wife, but you are a racing wife. And the reason I wanted you with is we've worked how many tracks together, but everybody who knows me at the racetrack, you're always with me. Everybody knows you. And so we had to get you in, and people don't realize
You never go out of town alone.
I
So,
don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
So.
And by golly, I tell you, if you're up at the racetrack and you're in the crow's nest or up at the press box at River Cities, for example, and you got to take a quick leak, there's no such thing. It's a long time to go take a quick leak. And so I got her up there, and she'll run the music and the computer and all of that kind of stuff. But you weren't really into racing before we met, were you?
No, not before we met.
And are you starting to get into it?
I'd say I'm past starting.
Yeah, and the cool thing about racing is, and again, we're beating a dead horse with this, but it's the racing family. We've got to meet a lot of great friends through racing.
Absolutely.
And every track we go to, we've been, obviously here, we did Greenbush, Buffalo River, Devil's Lake. We did a whole bunch until Dale got the job over there. But everybody there knows you too. And when we walk up to the track or up to the press box, it's, hey, Jon, hey, Laurie, how you doing? But I think you're okay with it.
Oh, I love it.
And I mean, I know you love it, but I've been offered more jobs, but I don't think we love it that much.
Well,
I don't know that anyone should.
It's a weekend commitment, and summers are short.
Yeah.
You know, if it was during the weekdays, that would be a different story. But, you know, you can only want to
Right.
give up so many of your weekends. But Fridays are fine. But as far as for going out of
Yeah.
town and doing, you know, extended nights, that
Right.
gets a little bit tougher.
You know, when you girls were on here before, I asked you how you met your significant other. Maybe we should tell the story how we met. It was a funny deal. I lived in Thief River forever. She was from Thief River. I never knew her, and she had moved away, and I had moved to Grand Forks. So then she moved back to Thief River. And they had called me up. My old softball team needed an extra guy to go up to Grigla, Minnesota for the Fall Festival tournament. It was a tournament we played every year forever. And so I'm like, okay, fine. I grabbed all my gear. I drove to Thief River and went up to Grigla. And the guy that they had gotten on the team happened to be her brother to take my spot. Well, we get up there. The weather sucked. It was cold. It was crappy. And here's her and her sister-in-law. And they got enough people. And it's cold, and I hear him even talking about going somewhere else.
It was just the two of us. She said, I know there's a bar here somewhere, and it was like 7:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And we said, let's go.
Yep, and I heard that. So all I heard
From
was
across the field, he heard that.
there's got to be a bar somewhere. Wah, 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 wah. I'm already running over there. So we end up going to, and we sat in this bar. I think we actually even pounded on the door, so
We
they opened up
did.
the door.
We saw them in there vacuuming, cleaning.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
pounded on the door.
And they let us in. And so then we ended up, that whole day we spent together, we ended up in Goodrich, Minnesota that night on the way home. I believe you were dancing on the table. Oh, wait,
No,
maybe that was
no.
me. And the rest is history. And it's funny because after, was it 10 years we went back and 20? And yeah. So when we went back there on the 10th anniversary, we just decided to go drive up to Grigla, go sit in the same bar, sit at the same table, have the same kind of drinks and everything, and just kind of reminisce about it and relive it. Who do we see walking across the street but him? Kids up there playing in the same tournament we
Our
had
son.
played in a million
Yeah.
times. So yeah, our kid Alex is sitting back there in the corner. But so there we go. And
We didn't have any idea he was in that tournament or that the tournament was even going on. We just drove by and said, that looks like Alex. And sure enough, it was him.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a good story. I don't know. Again, how did
that's
you meet?
wild.
Didn't you meet online?
Yeah, so we saw each other on
Oh, yeah.
like social media or whatever, but no messages were ever exchanged. And then I went the extra mile to creep him to find his Snapchat, and then I added him, and I started snapping him at River Cities. Actually, was my first snap to him. It was the picture of the entryway, and my opening line was, "I hear you're familiar with this place." And then he asked me who my dad was, and I said,
Oh, we're gonna expand on that.
"Oh yeah."
So
Isn't that every guy's first question?
I guess, but
anyway, go ahead.
said like, "Oh, I think you kind of already know the answer," or something along those lines. Like, I can get you his number if you want.
Yeah.
And then no, I kind of just kept talking through Snapchat there, and he invited me up for a race, and so I came up with my friend Shelby, and he invited me for a beer afterwards in the pits. But
Now,
still don't drink
knowing him, obviously, I don't know him as good as you do, but if you wouldn't have reached out to him first, do you think he would have reached out to you? Because is he, until you get to know him, he's kind of shy, isn't he? Or not?
A little bit, yeah. He said that there was one time at Joe Black's before we met, like I was there with some friends and he was there with his friends, and one of his friends knew me from working together at B-Dubs, and he was like, oh, that's Bryce. I'm going to go say hi. You coming with? And Jade was like, I'll stay here. And what he told me is like, she's just way out of my league, is what he's told me. So I'm just like, And then here I am. I won't leave him alone. And then we just developed into a
And the rest is history. Heather McDonald, do you seriously bring up peeing in the press box? Yes, I would. If there wasn't women up there, I would definitely have probably a 5-gallon bucket up there in the press box.
I won't tell the emo Ontario story. That was an old one.
Okay.
I had an idea for another show. We'll go over that afterward.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I threw that out just because Luann Young is watching.
Oh, sure.
Just like she's probably laughing at carriers right
Okay.
now. So. Anyway,
Savanah. Now, I thought I knew your story. Where are you from again?
Carlstead.
Carlstead. That's right. We've had this conversation before. And did you meet at the racetrack also?
No, I never even went to the races.
Okay,
I wanted nothing to do with the races. My friends tried to get me to go to Greenbush in high school, and I was like, call me when you're done.
Really?
Yeah, so Joe Nosted actually introduced us.
Okay, yep, but we know, that's where he got married out there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So, yeah, we just met that way.
Yeah.
He actually came in and got his hair cut, and he did ask me out, and I kind of giggled because that's what girls do, right? Like, they ask you out, and you're like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, you smile. And then he just, like, turned around and walked away. He told
Really?
me, he says I blew him off, but I didn't, because I also then tracked him down on Facebook.
You
And
creeped
then-
him.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I just said hi, and yeah, then we went out.
You know, one
Actually,
of the...
St. Patrick's Day was our first date.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
By the way, that's our 5th anniversary coming up of GFBS. This
Yep.
is St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
He's one thing I will say about, and because he's kind of a shy guy too.
He is shy, but you wouldn't think maybe he's shy, but then yeah, he's pretty shy.
How often do you see him when he's not smiling? Because it seems to me like he's got a smile on his face 99% of the time.
Well, that's because I always have to tell him, keep smiling, just smile.
Oh, he wasn't a
Put smile on
smiler
your
before?
face. No, he is, but in his older age, he's getting a little ornery, so you
Is
have to
he?
remind him once in a while to
Take
a breath and smile.
well, most of the time he kind of does that when he's messing around with someone in the pits or whatever. He does kind of that throwback head thing and does that really wide smile, like
yeah.
or whatever, So, but that's from kind of years of knowing him, kind of thing. You kind of get used to it. Just like it's Dustin doing his thing or whatever. But.
Boy, lots of people. Lacey says, Dustin, shy, LOL. We have a handicap potty chair, but I'm afraid it would scar Dale and Steven for life.
That is why you take pictures and only score after intermission now. So.
Tate has a race car potty you could throw up there.
Oh,
For
really?
you, yeah.
Oh, for cool.
You might have to squat, go on your knees.
Well,
and
that's the
squat,
problem, though.
but,
When I squat like that, I can't get back up because my knees are so freaking shot already.
And the windows were boarded up, so that option is out. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Anyway, we could have put a wah on that one.
Let's do it.
I think it's funny how you guys creeped on your husbands, and
I would have never
my
thought
husband
that.
creeped me out. He actually wore me down. That first day was not as nice as he tries to make it out to be.
Okay, I just got this message. Dustin Strand, his dad is. Oh, okay. Neil Clam, you know him? Would be. Mary. Okay, explain how that is.
Dustin's aunt is my mother-in-law. So, Mary Strand, found out that you guys are related to her.
Crazy.
Okay.
So what's your mother-in-law's name?
Mary.
Oh, my mother-in-law's name is Mary Strand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
now I'm a
well,
little
this is
confused.
kinda
I'll
weird
figure that
now.
out later.
Yeah. Wow.
That's getting kind of weird now. Jade Hastings, I'm here, was busy working and almost forgot. How can you forget something like this?
Don't worry, buddy. I've already got you twice on this one, so watch the replay. So, anyway.
I didn't write it on the calendar at home, so that could be.
Oh, you got to write that on the calendar. What do you guys do in the off season? besides the girls' basketball and things like that? Do you guys do anything? I'm guessing you do a little ice fishing, but what do you guys do? I mean, you've got a family with
we
kids
were
and
just
everything.
down in Arizona for 10 days. Dustin and I snuck off to Mexico for 4 of them.
Oh, that's on my list.
Otherwise, it's Dustin's busy season, surprisingly.
Yeah, it
you saw
is.
the shop. It's like nuts. So he's
Uh-huh.
runs home, eats, runs back to the shop. It's very
Now,
busy right now.
during the winter, he's in the shop. How many hours a day do you think he's there?
Anywhere from 10 to 14.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does it.
And then does he bring work home too?
Well, so our vinyl stuff is downstairs. So so then he's working on his designs and.
So he's probably working more than 10 to 12 hours a day when you add it all up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime he's awake, he's working.
Okay. Wow.
When I think about Dustin doing the vinyl thing, because Mike and I, do that too or whatever, but I was just like, the way Mike and I are busy and whatever, I was like, can you imagine dropping the vinyl and then going and like welding a car together on top of that? Like, no way, It's wild to think about, know?
You know what I really liked yesterday? I swung into the race shop there. Never seen it that full, but I think there was like 3 brand new cars. I mean, and I don't get to see that very often, but and then of course people bring in their cars that they demoed or looked like they demoed, because I know he was working on one of those too. But I want to talk a little bit about last year. It's a little bit different. Dustin running 2 cars. 21 wins, 41 top 5s, 43 top 10s, 18 late model wins, 3 A-mod wins. Is it easier to be married to a guy that wins all the time? I'm guessing he's in a better mood.
He's in a good mood. It also comes with like a little bit of pressure. He finished second in the sights, and he's like, nobody's happy.
I
and
know,
you are,
I know.
but it's just like you're also like the first loser. So.
Yeah. I know, and
but he did great. Put that out there.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get him last year because of our track record, and he actually booked himself on the show before the sites. Like,
I booked him.
Oh yeah. And
because he
more
was
than
here.
happy
When
to
were
do
you
it
guys
again.
here? June-ish or whatever, and I was just all of us were just like,
Well, I said,
all
I'm
right,
coming in.
you're on the show before the sites. Like, this year's the year kind of thing. So. Yeah.
I also want to mention River City's Speedway track champion, Devils Lake track champion, second in National Wissota points. Not a bad year for the 71, that is for sure. And then going over and talking with Mrs. Hastings, 4 wins, 15 top 5s for Jade, 19 top 10s, River City Speedway champion and NOSA champion. We get to do the NOSA banquet. I get lucky enough to MC that, but your old man had a pretty good year too.
I always think he does good.
Yeah,
so.
no matter what, because I know he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, no. But he's his biggest critic with it. And
Right. And that's not a bad thing to do, but he is more up and down.
I have
isn't he?
never seen anyone tougher on themselves.
Exactly.
Ever.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of highs and the lows, and we got guys like Dustin. He's kind of a little bit more, I think, but Jade, he pretty much wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%.
Dustin's championship trophy is halfway done. All right. Happy birthday. All right. Thank you, everybody. Now, what does he do all winter long? Because he gets into ice fishing and stuff too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think after the end of the year, we have our end of the year shop party where we invite sponsors
Which
out
was
and
a
have
fun
fire
time,
and,
by the way.
Yes. Kind of takes some time to, like, either it's video games or just hanging out or, like you said,
breathe.
ice fishing.
Yeah.
But he's gotten back out to the shop now, kind of beginning of the year. He's, like, working his way back in. They're building a car and more hours gradually, more and more hours going into it. So I know that time's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be sooner enough than it'll be here, and he'll be there all the time.
Wow. I forgot what I was going to ask you now. I don't know.
Wow, that age is already showing today.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up.
If we have a sec, John, we got a call coming through. I got like 1 sec here. If you want to get the volume there. Yep, there we go. Here we go. Passing it through.
Well, you're 60. That's awesome. Chat off here. Jon Roberts Unbelievable 60. One half the Bullring boys checking in here from Dickinson, North Dakota. What's my stuff? Okay. I'm here. I'm going to do a little thing for Jon Roberts. Happy 60th birthday, buddy. Wish I could be there. This one's for you.
Different in mountain time apparently, because that's not how he's learned a lot out there so far. So
oh man, I miss that guy. But you know what? I got a great co-host right now, but we sure miss Chad a lot. I tell you what, I want to take just a little bit of a break here. We're already half hour deep into the show, but we'll be back in just a couple of minutes here. Dirty Thursday, Racing Wives, salute to women. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street or call them 701-780-8462 and make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Alrighty, here we go. Dirty Thursday Racing Wives, salute to women. Along with Dale, the producer, and Stephen Lewis, we have got Savanah Strand, Bryce Hastings, and Laurie, my wife. I haven't, the reason we say that, and my wife, Laurie, is because I don't know if she wants her last name out there or not, but it's not what I use.
I noticed that on the first time that the bug went up under her, I was just like, Laurie, with no last. It was just like, okay, well, you're like Prince now. You're just gonna be just Laurie now.
Right.
So I'll build a symbol for you.
Well, there you go. I like
the artist
that.
formerly known as Laurie
There
at
we
some
go.
point as we go. So
And it's funny, but it's like
Well,
even
you
now.
thought no one would know who I was if you went by my last name
Right,
because it's
and-
not Roberts.
And then not everybody, I didn't really want to know what my real last name is either, but it's confusing because when people get on social media or whatever, they're going to see all kinds of good happy birthday, John, or happy birthday, Rob. Depending on how long you've known me for. The people that know me, my friends, they know that I've got like 9 names. They just got to figure out which one I'm using on that particular day.
that one even took me like 7, 8, 9 years or whatever. I was just like, wait a minute, what's his name? I think Liebrick finally told me. I was just like, that's not. I was like, huh?
Well, Liebrick was the first one when everybody else was saying John. He didn't. He'd call me Rob no matter what.
He was. He wouldn't play along unless it was his thing. So.
Well, and there's those at the drum that call you Johnny Rob Buzzkill.
Oh yeah, Johnny Rob Buzzkill. Let's see if we can get.
Oh, look at.
I was about to say we got salute to women out in the hallway here too. So.
No, I gotta come and get it. But you guys want to come and say hi?
No, they don't. But
No, they don't.
they're busy. So.
Thank you. Mason, Aaron wants to know, Bryce, are you the one that goes live for Jade? If so, how hard is it to keep things PG while recording? And I get that, especially with Jade, but is it tough to do?
He's censored me there was one video I was going live. Yes, I do the lives. And I was just very into it, and I always like watch through my screen to make sure, I'm still following him. Because if I start watching over it, then my hands could be over here, and it just doesn't follow. But there was one time a lap car kind of came up from the bottom and Jade was contending for the lead, and I yelled, "Get the out of the way." Yelled it. And people were commenting like, "I said the same thing," or "That's what I was thinking." And when he watched it back, he's like, "You can't say that." And I'm like,
Well, it depends
sorry.
on if it's not
I
on the
don't even know
radio. Who
if that race
cares?
is still-
Who cares?
I don't even know if that video is still up on the race page or if we did end up taking it down for
For reasons, but yeah.
And then I think I added a little, as like that lap car was going off the track, I was like, "Yep, thanks." It
Now
was- I
you
was salty.
you record a lot of the stuff too, don't you?
I just record for Dustin to watch, and he always has it blaring. And I was like, "Can you just turn it down?" He's
Yeah.
like, "The commentary is my favorite part." I'm like, let's not. Like, just put it on silent.
And it's really cool because I've got to know some of your family now, or Dustin's family, because it seems like now you guys don't have the camper there anymore. So a lot of these guys migrate to Little Canada.
Yeah, my dad. We had it there finally again last year. Otherwise, we had it at the campground, and we'll have it again this year. But yeah, my dad and. Yeah,
they're awesome people.
Yeah, we just made the dog a new shirt.
Oh boy,
they have that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, got him a new shirt, and Santa got a new shirt too.
Geez, what color are the shirts?
They're blue.
No,
Yeah.
are you guys migrating away from the orange?
Well, I just kind of like.
It does.
Sometimes the blue with the orange accent.
Well, when he first came out with the blue,
Well, that's kind of funny because just the car
wow.
came blue. That wasn't really a planned thing, I don't think, because the Longhorn came, and I think it just kind of ran out of time and just kind of put the orange on the blue, and it looks really good.
I think it looks awesome. We got a bunch of texts here. First off, speaking of Little Canada, Daryl from up in Canada. Daryl works. Good morning, everyone, and happy 60th birthday, John. Good to see you on the show, Lori. Have a great night tonight. Wish we were there. Racing season soon. Sorry to hear about the family. Take care. Casey, wow, can't believe your boss made you work on your birthday, John. Well, here's the thing, Casey. I'm my boss. It was my choice. No better way to celebrate a birthday than by talking about racing. Absolutely right. Weather helps get the blood flow going again and get excited for racing to start. I can't wait. Kaylee had to delete one of our live videos, too, because of my trucker mouth. And Kaylee, we know that. It's really hard to remember that the commentary is out on social media. Emotions can't run high at times. Whoops. Here's the thing.
I was hoping that one was going to stay live because I was laughing my ass off. And I went back to rewatch and I was like, oh, she deleted it, but I get it. But anyway,
and you know, the thing is you do that for common courtesy. After 4 decades of radio, if you said the F-bomb, you could get in serious trouble. Social media is not regulated by the FCC.
Right,
it's just what are people going to think of you? It's still it sounds trashy, you know. If you're gonna take the time to make a good video, and it's not easy to do. If you're like the middleman, like you got no skin in the game. You're just out there for the good pictures. So if Bryce gets or if Jade gets knocked off or Dustin gets knocked, you don't care about the swear words. You know?
So I'll pivot back and I'll go back to Bryce. We kind of got lucky in an unfortunate way there that the Dirt Vision only has the single camera at Huset's or whatever. So you were locked on him, and so we could see what happened to him there. Unfortunately, he went in as the point leader that night and was, running third and was maybe going to make the dash again. And kind of the season unraveled a little bit there. So got a little bit lucky that you caught that and that kind of thing. So I hope I know they probably do, but I hope the two of them appreciate that. That's kind of a big deal to be holding a phone and watching the race and watching it twice, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
it gives a different perspective than especially when Jade watches it, because he's obviously in the car. He can't see all the different angles of it or anything like that. So.
Well, I know for years, like knowing Greg Josie as long as I have, like he has always relied on someone, whether it was Makara and now he's got Sarah to do it or whatever. He's just like, after the races, and I'll do my Greg Josie impression. He just goes, I need to watch the YouTubes. I need to watch the last race. What happened there? So like, yeah, I mean, just knowing some of those guys, and they need to know right away, like what happened here, what happened there. So.
Well, that is John too. So I in River City just go up in the grandstands and watch and record from there. But John also records from the pit stands, so he kind of gets a little bit.
Oh, sure, you got all angles.
Just to try and because it looks so different.
Well, and then quite honestly for me, so like I'll do the NLRA recap, and if I don't go to Greenbush, like I'll dial up someone's. You're not live or whatever, but like Erica Schill do it for Cole, or Jennifer Dahl do it for Ryan or whatever. So like I kind of rely on that too to go back and just be like, all right, there's only so much I can do off of MRP. Like I need to go back and watch it too. So. And that kind of thing. So I always appreciate that kind of thing. And it's like, just being the photo guy. So I appreciate the media side of it too. But so, yeah.
Do you know, are your men going to stay with the kind of the same color schemes and things like that? They both changed their cars a little bit in the last few years. Do you know, is any surprises? And I mean, if they are, we don't need to know it, but I just want to know, are we going to be looking for the same colors?
Well, actually, we're going to a sprint car this year. I'm totally kidding. That absolutely will not happen.
I would just like to see that big, tall drink of water try to get in and out of a sprint car.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty tall.
He's very tall. Him and Jack always, say like, we're going to swap cars. I'm like,
I'd love to see it. Thing is,
but
Dustin
absolutely
probably
not.
drive the hell out of it too,
No, I'd pull his ass out of there so fast. But no, we'll stick with the same. I always tell him you have to keep something for at least like 6-ish years because we make clothing and then like kids have it and then they got to pass it along the line.
Pretty
so
soon
like,
it's a clearance sale.
yeah, so you got to keep it the same because I'm not buying new shit every year.
Right.
Yeah, and then otherwise it's vintage after a year. How about he's made some drastic color changes over the last couple of years. Has he got any surprises for us this year or not?
As far as I know, I think we're still orange and black. But I think we are getting new shirts. I just don't know when.
Okay.
I don't know what they look like either.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And how about changes for you? I don't know.
I've been trying to get new music for you.
I know. And the thing is, I've been
the same stuff for 10 years.
And I just have this deal about having to pay all that money to get music to play at work. So maybe I should talk to my bosses about getting a music allowance or whatever.
That'd be a great idea.
You guys go to a lot of tracks. You've been to a lot of tracks now too. My favorite track, and I don't want to piss anybody off, but I love the concessions at River City Speedway. When I'm at Devil's Lake, I love the food at the Devil's Lake bar and restaurant there. But I love River City Speedway food. I want to ask you, do you have a favorite food at River City Speedway, and what do you think of their concession stand? Because now remember, Scotty Iverson's watching the show.
Oh, I agree. Their food is top notch.
It is.
It really is. I don't know if I can say I have a favorite, but every time we go there, we definitely plan on hitting up the stands.
And not everybody has a schedule where they have to eat at the racetrack. I usually do because of things going on during the day, and that's the time when I have to do it. But do you eat food at the racetrack?
Yeah, actually with Scott, he asked, what do other places have that we know that we should get? And I said, like the pizza pockets.
Oh, yeah,
So I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
When I was a kid at Red River Valley Speedway, they were so good.
And didn't they deep fry those too?
Yep.
Yeah.
They get their meat from L&M.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, their
it's,
hot dogs and all
it's
that.
not
Oh,
like
sure.
they're running out to Sam's Club and getting the cheapest stuff you can find. Their food is really good food.
The last place that had them was Jamestown, and
was
I
just
think
gonna
they
say
finally
Jamestown.
pulled
Oh,
the plug
sure,
on them,
sure.
and I was like, oh, right, damn it. But yeah,
That's where I remember seeing them before too, is Jamestown, and I was so happy.
same. Yeah.
I would say you have to play YMCA at Kevin Pappenfuss. I play YMCA all the time. I love the nacho bucket loaded. Who's that, Chad Hoff?
Chad.
No, it's Eric. But Chad gets more than a loaded bucket. That's like a loaded payloader bucket. Do you have a favorite track food or a favorite track to eat at or a concession stand, or do you not eat that much track food?
I don't know. We usually eat at the camper, have
Yeah,
something
well,
set
then
up.
you have that luxury. I mean,
Yeah.
that's nice.
But it seems like we're always, there's always something. Like Ada always has the grill going, so they're doing the cheeseburgers and stuff
Sure.
like that. But Greenbush also has good food.
Yeah, they do.
It just takes a long time. You got to go by, I don't know, the way it's set up is a little. You see the line, it's like, meh, I'll skip it.
It's a little wonky.
Yeah, so we usually just do a lot of stuff in the trailer, and it's
Sure. Like Jory Berg with his lavash. Everybody's got their specialty.
right,
Mike
right.
Anderson used to always have. What did he always used to bring in again? Oh, God, I used to eat it there all the time. Corey Palm says mac and cheese bites. Where are the mac and cheese bites at?
Devil's.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
And-
Devil's Lake, their food is good. The steak is.
They are. They are.
awesome.
Mine is poppers out there, but
Okay.
kind of the same thing. So
Joshua Johnson, it's a Cedar Lake thing, but green chili burritos. That sounds
That
like
sounds
it
great,
might be
yep.
good. Green chili burritos.
I made a point of crossing during the rain delay at the Outlaw Show last year. I kept hearing about, what was it, the prime rib burger or something that Scotty
Yep,
had
that
going
new
or whatever.
one.
And I was like, well, we got a break here, might as well. So I kind of waddled across the racetrack and got one. And yeah, Scotty's got that thing going really good around here. So
My favorite still is brisket sandwich, hands down. And the thing is, it's always so freaking huge.
Right.
I'll get one in the
Right.
pits. And the thing about racing dogs, we should do a racing dog episode one time. A lot of boxers in the
Yes.
pits
Oh,
and
yeah,
racing.
Gabby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was to the point a couple of years ago, I wonder if it was Billy Matichek had There's Always a Dobmeyer's trailer, but that dog would wait for me because he knew I'd be coming with probably a quarter of a sandwich for him because I could never eat the whole thing, you know, and he was always ready for some brisket. But do you feed your dog treats like that and give him, you know, table scraps?
I mean, she'll get like a taste. Like Dustin will have like a little piece of steak left, and he like cuts it up for her and spreads it out and gives it to her. But one time in the pits, I think it was Daisy actually, and some guy, like, she was getting sick, and some guy was like, "Well, I fed her 8 hot dogs."
Oh,
I'm like,
jeez.
"Go for it." She was like throwing up. We sent her to my mom. She was like, I think she threw up twice. I think
She's
she
throwing
puked
up,
on the
sent her to
floor.
mom's
We're like,
house.
sorry, someone fed her 8 hot dogs.
Oh my
man.
God.
But no, not.
I'd
I
be-
mean, you know, maybe a taste, but yeah.
I'd be puking too. River City Speedway mini donuts, when they're hot and crispy, are the best. Someone needs to sell deep fried Twinkies and Oreos. Ooh, you might have something going on there. I'm all about deep fried. I love that. Now, she helps me, and I know logistically and scheduling and things like that. I know notoriously you guys are usually better at that than the guys are, but do you help on the race car? Are there things you will do, or are you the social media magnet and you do the travel schedule and things like that? Or does he ever get you in the shop and say, "Hey, change the oil, woman"?
Well, I wouldn't do it by myself.
I can't believe I even said that. Yeah.
But no, he's come over here and hold this or just kind of help. That's as far as I'll go with the car wise. But in the summer, I clean the trailer every week.
Yep.
And yeah, then make the Facebook posts and
Somebody's got to take care of merch and all that stuff too.
yeah, if we like to do it, if you're at the track, come down and see us after. That's where, you know, we'll have most of the merch and stuff. But there are a few people that try to ask him, like, "Hey, can you save me a hat?" Or "I need a shirt this size." And he's just like,
Talk
"I
to
don't
my
do-
people."
Yep, I don't do any of that. You got to talk to her. She
Yep.
makes it happen.
I am going to say this. I have probably, between Chad Hoff and myself, we have probably given away more Jade Hastings stuff in the stands than pretty much anybody. Anytime I'm going through the pits, they usually wave me down. Hey, we got some shirts for you to give away, and we go up there. Savanah, do you do any work on the car at all?
Absolutely not.
You're giving me that look like, what the
No,
F?
I go out and he's like, "Do you have time to bleed some brakes?" So I'll like hop in the cars. I'm like
Just push the
bleeding
pedal,
everyone's
yeah.
brakes, or like if he's like making things, like she said, like I'll hold a rivet or run the gun or something. But as far as like tires, I actually just had a conversation with Jen, Nate Reynolds' wife, last night.
Oh, sure.
And she does so much with the car, and I don't want to be responsible for any of that. If you got something flying off,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, "Oh shit, that was my tire."
Yeah, that was my tire.
They have enough help, and so yeah, I just bring them some teas or a cookie, and that's as far as I get in the.
Well, that's so funny that you brought up Jen. So I brought Nate got some sponsor photos last spring or whatever. So I drove out to their place, and they're actually a block away from my aunt and uncle's place out in Manville or whatever. So I knew where to go, and I walk in there, and my first question was it was like, "That's not a modified." Like, it was a late model, but it was mostly bare or whatever. Well, here they're putting his seat in and whatever, and she's on the car and under it and over, and I
yeah,
was just
she does
like,
it all. She's
yeah,
awesome.
she's 100%.
And who's
in
that?
That is Nate Reynolds.
Oh, yeah,
Jenny.
yeah.
So yeah, that was just that was really neat to see that, because they were fighting so hard, and I think we had the conversation with someone else about how hard it is to put seats and belts in, and you wouldn't think that, but yeah, the three of them were just trying to get all of his stuff fitted in and all that, and it was just kind of fun to watch that from, you know, an outside perspective. But
We've got a bunch of pictures I think we're going to show. And I tell you what, whoever the pictures are of or who they pertain to, feel free to chirp in and let's just talk about, see what we've got here. We got a bunch. All for cute.
That was after, like, the first year we had met. That was after the last race.
Okay.
So.
that was year one. Okay.
Another great picture.
That's cute.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I gave a bunch of pictures because of it's your birthday. This was actually at a friend of ours' 60th birthday. They had he's a musician, and they had a surprise party for him, and they said, just come as your favorite rocker. and we decided to go as Ozzy and Sharon.
You did the accents, I hope, right?
We tried.
Rock and roll.
That is awesome.
I even signed an autograph or two that night.
I almost messaged you going into this. I was just like, the more embarrassing, the better. And just send them straight to Dale.
That's
I
why
have
I
a
sent
couple,
some of
but
them.
I decided he probably would not
Doesn't
have
have
been
any of me
happy.
in my whitey tighties out in a rainstorm.
I could have, but I thought that might not
Dale
have
and I
been
control
forgiven.
that department. He doesn't have any say in what goes on here. So.
And
But
I've
I
been
have to live with them.
freaking
Oh,
about
sure,
that.
sure. Well, there's that too. So.
Oh yeah, and while you're doing that, I want to see this text that just came in.
That's spam.
I got cured from herpes, stroke, and psoriasis through herbal treatment from Dr. Damn, you need to stay home some more.
Have either of you two ever driven any of the cars? Or do they let you behind the wheel?
I drove it into the trailer one time, I think, but it was on like the pulley hoist thing. But
Oh,
no,
you just
I've
steered?
He always says he's gonna put me in like the powder puff or whatever. I don't even think I would get it to move.
Get in gear and go. How about you?
Hold on.
It's a little
Before you
different.
answer, I have been badgering. I've known you almost 5 years now, and I was like, and we're going to get to that picture that I'm going to show here, too. I was just like, you've got the genes. Let's see if you've got it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I can't
so.
fit in his seat. My
Oh.
hips are too big.
He is a little guy.
So where the
Yeah.
seat fits him, like my head
Sure.
sticks out the top, but he's like rolled it, like when we're getting ready to wash the car,
Yeah.
and I've steered it. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't steer it right, or he's like, crank it, and I'm trying to tug on it.
That's
to
so
move it
funny you
over.
mentioned
Your
that.
left, my right.
Yeah.
That's so funny you mentioned that because his fire suit goes from lower back right to his legs. So, yeah, you know.
Like the cute booty.
Okay, that's
jeez.
that's 3 now, Jade. I
cute
hope he's
booty.
still watching.
What
Yeah.
happened there?
This was our first Halloween together.
Peter.
Pumpkin eater.
There you go.
And yes, I made him do it. I
And she's-
made the shirts that day, and then I painted his face. And
Dale, maybe don't upload this one. I'm not sure that we're going to get away with that.
That's funny.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dear.
Oh jeez.
This was obviously Christmas. What our family does is, because we have so many Christmases, we just, when we have our big one with all of the nieces and nephews, and we just got tired of how many times can you eat ham. So what we do is every year we pick a different country, and everybody brings food for that country, and we have music, and people start wearing costumes. And that one was, we were doing France, and that was Rob's attempt at being
Hey, John. Oh.
sorry, being a Christmas Frenchman.
Yeah, see, because now the only difference is for me and a regular French man, I didn't have a cigarette in my hands.
I
That's
was
right.
just going to say
That's
that, but
right.
I was just like, you've
Yeah.
quit. So
and
I
those
was
were
gonna
the
bring that up,
skinniest jeans I could find. But when we were over there, it's like they all dress with the scarf, they all wear the hat, and they all smoke, and they all wear skinny jeans. But I forgot about that
Well,
picture.
you didn't have a glass of wine and a big wedge of cheese either. Like, you could have
that's
really
true.
hammed that up if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Well, he did later. I just didn't get any pictures.
Yeah. I'm sure he was using his best French after that, too.
That's
so,
right.
yeah,
Before we get into the cats here, Jade says, I got a video of her driving Mike Witherell's cart a few years ago. She was scared of the gas pedal, I think.
I felt like Ricky Bobby after his crash. Like, I thought I was going so fast. And
Right
then
in the back seat of
no
a
one
bus
else was out there.
with
so I was
frickin'
like,
Marty Kleva driving. Then you'll talk about, you think you're going 90 miles an hour.
Was there any video of that afterwards? Because that is the worst when you think like you're doing good. Because I did that twice in the sprint last year, and you watch the video, and it's just like, I can walk faster than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like, what the hell,
I
you
think
know?
he's got a video where
Yeah.
there was one. And
Yeah. You
I-
watch the video later, and it's just like, why did it feel like I was doing 600 miles an hour, and that looks like I'm walking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
And yes, Nick Curtis, I was able to sit down in those jeans. All right. What do we got here? Okay. Kitty.
Oh, these are our children. Just for anyone asking, no other children right now in the mix.
Just
wanna clear
practicing?
that up. Yes.
Okay.
But just to avoid any questions of when are kids coming and that.
Oh, how often
these
do you
are
get
our
that?
babies. A lot of girls at work
Yeah.
keep kind of
Yeah.
asking me,
Newlyweds.
right?
Yeah. When are you going to have a kid? Oh, boy. That was my 50th.
That was your 50th birthday. Yep. And, well, I don't need to comment.
I know it's not good because your whole hand is over your whole face. So whatever happened there is not good. So.
I was posing.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, look at that. I love that pic.
Oh.
My kids.
Yeah. And
they're
from left to
adorable.
right, names and age.
Paisley. So this was in September, and it's crazy because I already feel like they look so different.
Yeah.
But in this picture, Paisley 9, 4th grade. Tate, he was almost 3 here, and then Caden 7.
Wow. Does Tate always smile like that?
No, not really. For some reason, yeah. Sometimes he does.
Yeah, and it's usually not when they want to take a picture.
Yeah, I couldn't. This session took. Her name was Ashley. Shoot, now I can't remember her last name, but it was 6 minutes. I was
Wow.
like, you guys get down there, you listen, you pay attention. We can go for donuts afterwards, and they just smiled, and we were done.
Kyle out there stroking the light
Yep.
pole. Okay.
Oh, this
what
one.
the hell is this?
Yeah. Okay, we took a cruise a
Oh,
couple years ago.
boy.
And this was the
I forgot about
entertainment
that.
in one of the bars, and John decided he wanted to be part of the band. And so they said, sure, come on up. And that's him singing.
I think we were doing Neil Diamond.
I think you were doing
There were a
Neil
couple
Diamond,
of Oriental
yeah.
guys. Sweet Caroline. It was a lot of fun.
Can he sing? Is he a good singer? Like, should
Yeah.
we sign him up for the anthem? Like, you could
Yes,
be singing
he
the
They've been
anthem.
trying to get
off
me to
our
do the
band.
anthem for
that
years.
for quite a while. But
I used to
yep,
sing in
he used to
bands and
sing.
at funerals and weddings. And
Well, what the heck?
mm-hmm. Another awesome picture. That at a, what is that, Vikings game or where are you?
That was at the Papa Roach concert
Oh, Papa Roach.
when they were here. And
Mm-hmm.
A little different than Vikings.
Yeah, a
game.
little
a
bit.
little different, but no, it's one of my favorite pictures. And
That's good.
I told him it's time to go home if I think I can start headbanging. to
Oh,
the
yeah.
music. It's
You
like,
bring me
time
to the
go.
mosh pit.
He went in the mosh pit,
No, screw that.
and I was.
Yeah. But that's one of
I'm
those.
not surprised.
That's one of those pictures that looks like you're genuinely both having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites.
That was Halloween. So, like I said earlier, Dustin works all the time, but somehow he's still like at everything and a part of everything in Paisley's games. And yeah, Halloween we all dressed up as Super Mario Brothers. That's Tate's big thing. So
That's Dale's a Super Mario freak.
Man, I never thought I'd see a Green Wave shirt on Dustin, but shout out to them.
Oh, yeah, Green Wave all the way.
We're
Oh,
playing
look at that.
War Road tonight,
Yep,
right?
Yep. World
girls
tonight.
basketball tonight too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of things going on tonight. Oh, man.
Oh, that was
Jesus.
you're
Where do you get
being
these?
your
Man,
moodle baby.
You
I'm a
know how
moodle
to
babe.
pose for a photo. I can tell you that. Like,
That's why I put that one in there.
I went all
That
the way
was,
down to Alabama to put that
yep.
outfit on.
We were in Alabama, went to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, which, by the way, that same parade is tomorrow night down in Fairhope, Alabama, and they really go all out. But Lori and I went to a Mardi Gras ball in Fairhope, Alabama with my sister, and that's how you had to dress.
Yeah, the
you
men
to wear-
had to wear that white ties, tux, and women had to wear long gowns, and it was quite the event.
It was a lot of fun, but walking around downtown Fairhope for all them hours with those shoes on wasn't that much.
it's a good pose, but it kind of looks like an eye roll.
It looks like I'm farting. She's probably in the background going, "Knock it off."
Oh yes, so
There's the Vikings game.
yep, I wanted to surprise him with Vikings tickets, and so I, did that for the Falcons game. I tried to be nonchalant and figure out what game he'd rather go to,
Okay.
and I think he picked up on it, and he's just like, oh,
Ah.
be able to boo Kirk Cousins.
Was it? Oh, so that was this year. Okay.
Yep, that was this year. And I think I created a monster because he's watching those ticket prices for the games
Oh,
every week since then. He was looking at home
Now,
game tickets.
Did you have to go buy Vikings attire before the game, or did you guys already have that?
Oh, no. Well, I gave him that sweatshirt with the tickets in it.
Oh, God.
So that was how he got that. He had Viking stuff before, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
He's a
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't
lifelong
know he was a
fan.
Vikings guy.
That gets rough when you go to one thing. Curtis brought me to the Manitoba game, and now we've been to 3, and it was just like, I kind of just want to keep going every time they come here, you know?
Yeah, you guys are on the big screen all the time now.
Yeah, that too, you know?
See, she did that for me. Lori did that for me on our 20th anniversary. Surprised me with tickets to the Daytona 500, which, yeah, we had a lot
had a
of
good
fun.
time.
There, look at that.
There it is.
The fat guy in the back.
Why is Drew Carey in your wedding picture? I'm sorry, I had to. I'm sorry. Happy birthday.
I don't have the Drew Carey glasses like I used to wear, but
I know Heather is going to comment Dilbert at some point.
Dilbert. So. This was the second of 3 weddings that I have officiated. This was the first. The first one I did was for the girl next door, and it was right out here in the mall. In fact, they wore Minnesota Vikings colors to their wedding. It was just a deal right out here. Maybe a dozen people or so. We had a great time. This was the first.
Oh, there were a lot of people.
Yeah, but this was the first one where we're in a nice venue. I actually bought new shoes, pants, and a tie for that wedding to try to look a little better.
I talked with your wife on that.
But talk about that day, man. That was a blast.
It was so fun, and everything went like without a hitch. We couldn't have asked for a better officiant to be there for us, and we were honored that you accepted and did it for us. And
it was a
I'm
great
Mrs.
wedding.
Hastings.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
No, all good memories.
It was a good time.
Such a fun day.
It's done. It's over. There you go.
It went smooth.
Yeah,
No one
everything was
tripped.
good. Now let's go party. And what a great venue, too, on campus. I don't know what that place is called. I've never been there before.
The Hopper Danley.
The
and
Hopper
I had
Danley.
never heard of it before. My friend at work, Bethany, she said her friend got married there. And
Yeah, and
was
it's
wonderful.
like
we might want to check it out.
it's like on an island. You can't even go drive up to it. You have to park in a different parking lot and walk across a bridge to get to it. It's really cool. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Anybody know who that is? Yeah.
Only because I've seen them
I did not know
before.
him back then.
I'm so glad that I've seen those before because I was like, Dale, was that off your camera roll as a mistake or who is this? Anyway.
The one on the right was my dad
That's his father.
and me.
Yep.
He was a 5'8" Frenchman.
So this is where you got the term Canadian on the right.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's exactly
Yep,
it.
yep.
Canadian,
The
yep.
word mullet wasn't around then. We called it Canadian. And then in the one on the left, I had the mullet with a little side part and some, I had a little perm going on there. And you probably can't see the platinum highlights that I used to put in there too. But
Just let you so
hey,
glow.
I had an earring, and back in my band days, I'd even put a little eyeliner on there.
You know, if Keegan Hauser's watching, take a look at that photo on the left because we might be onto something here. Because I do his hair, and I think he needs to do a little side action.
There you go. There you go. We'll have to save that one. K-Dog, are you watching?
No, this was long before we met.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure if I would have known you back then, if we would be here today.
Yeah, that picture on the left, I'm going to say is probably from like 1985-ish. Somewhere 86, maybe.
That's another piece of merch I want to make from one of these photos and be like, the 80s were hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Along with Dale's heck yeah shirt. So
The 80s
anyway.
was hard on me, from what I remember. Another awesome pick.
That's great.
You guys are so freaking
That's an old
photogenic.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that is an older one.
But they're so cute.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, there we were in Arizona.
I was about to say, where's
Oh.
Yeah, we had just booked everything for LA for the playoff game, and then the fires happened.
Oh, so
the
no
next
way.
day,
Okay.
Oh, so you were down. Okay.
Well, so we booked the LA tickets on, I want to say Monday or Tuesday of that same week, or like the week before Monday Night Football, and then the fires started happening in California, and then we're like, oh, it'll be okay. Like they won't move it, and then they kept.
That
like,
was a quick
prolonging it.
turnaround because what was it, Thursday night they decided, and it was a Monday game anyway. But that
Yeah, we flew out Saturday, but everything was super easy to cancel and rebook.
I'm impressed that you were able to make all those changes because that was short notice for everyone, little fan or
My mind's
team
on a mission.
or-
I was like,
yeah,
crap, I
yeah,
gotta go.
yeah.
I'm
Figure it
impressed
out.
that you guys are that big of Viking fans. And you know, Lori and I, we've been to Minnesota Wild games, Timberwolf games, we've been to the Twins games, never been to a Vikings game.
No.
It's got to be coming up. All right. Oh gosh, where in the hell?
Oh boy,
That's when we were first dating, but that was a few years
That was
ago.
that was at Mark's trailer house right
Yes, it
there. I
was.
used to flop there all the time after I moved back from California. I had my best friend back home. Yeah, I remember that party. I believe that was a New Year's Eve party, actually.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
There we go. Look who caught the bigger fish between the two.
That's why I picked that picture.
Yeah.
We had some pretty good guides that day, so.
And you know, Lori and I love taking new people out fishing, and we're planning on doing this again. We tried to make a few days last year, but it just didn't work out. And
that was the first day I met you guys.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Oh.
I thought you'd appreciate that one.
I'm going to give a shout out to Carol's Cozy Bar and Grill in Brooks, Minnesota. That's where we took that picture from. And, you know, the thing is, that buck sat in the back of my truck with the head hanging out the top of the tailgate for like 4 days. As we drove from bar to bar to bar to bar to show it off.
Might not be the best pick, but 8 point?
That was, 8 pointer.
8?
Or no, 10.
Okay. Yeah, it curves around.
Yeah.
So.
He's hanging in our living room.
Yeah,
now.
that one's,
Okay.
that's the mount we've got in our living room right now. Wow, look at that's a great picture.
You
look
know,
at
they
that.
Can clean
Wow.
up. That was the Wysota banquet this year.
Oh,
That went
sure.
to St. Cloud.
You mean a banquet where people actually dress up?
Yep, you have to dress up.
Yeah, that's the way they should be, in my opinion.
Mandatory. Yep.
That's a great picture. And is that all Dustin's crew?
I was about
Or
to say,
who's all in there?
Do you want to let us all know?
So, Matt Lunsky on the left, Zach Nosted, he used to race, so
Yep.
he'll jump down there when he can. Then Dustin, and then our president, Nate, and then myself, Casey Nosted, and then Madison, Matt's girlfriend.
I can't believe how thick Zach's beard has gotten.
Oh, yeah, it's luscious.
That's wild,
It's
isn't
luscious.
it? Yeah.
Never heard that word. I just shaved my beard off, but mine wasn't quite luscious yet.
Well, that and that there's gray in it too, like, you know, but anyway, so. Okay, so I added this one this morning. We're going to go back and forth for a minute. You've been on this show 3-4 times or whatever. And I'm not going to give John too much crap because it's his birthday or whatever. It's just like, so
Whatever.
your last name, that sounds familiar or whatever. Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. I was like, no, we're doing about 5 or 10 minutes on this. So do you want to start and then I'll fill in? Who is this, Bryce?
Well, that would be my father, Lauren Langerud.
Wow.
The original B-Dubs car. And, yeah, my whole childhood is me and my mom going every Friday to River Cities.
Well, that was an off weekend when
one's-
Fargo was off and he picked it off here. But yeah, so.
But
anyway.
every Friday nights we were at the tracks and she'd make sure I was taken care of. I was still cheering him on. And I kind of got to see, I didn't realize it at the time, but a little glimpse into the future, kind of what I'd be going through. And
So you do. So I was kind of doing the math when I sent this picture. I was like, do you remember much of that? Because this is 04. It's his last win here. This was his last season, and you weren't maybe much more a 5 or 6 at that point. So do you remember much of that, or?
I remember going to the races. I remember watching him find details in events or whatever. Not always, but I remember one distinctly is he won one night in Fargo, and you know they used to give out mini trophies for the drivers. Then kids would be all up on the fence, and they give one to a fan. Well, he saw me, and he didn't give it to me, and I was so mad. I went talked to him afterwards. I'm like, why didn't you give me that trophy? And he's like, Bryce, you have some. Like, you need to give them to some other people. I'm like, but I'm your kid.
I wish we knew which month that was, because if that happened in June, that's why he didn't win the Outlaw race then.
No, it was later in the year.
Oh, okay,
than
okay,
that.
because I was like, because he led 20 laps of that race and his left rear just goes down. Like,
Yeah,
so.
that was such a whirlwind.
I think the first time I met him was maybe wedding practice.
Yeah, would have been at the rehearsal.
And when he introduced himself, I felt intimidated. I really did, because he had this look on his face like, you better not mess this up.
Oh, man.
But that was probably my thinking, but I felt like, oh my God, I can't let this guy down. It's to the point where I wasn't even worried about them. I'm like, I can't let him down.
Well, that's a much more high stakes thing than we're going to try and do a Cliff Notes version or whatever. But so you guys, 2020, it was like July-ish that you were like, oh yeah, start hanging out and whatever kind of thing.
June 28th, 2019 is the day we met.
Okay. Well, no, but like when he started, like when
your eyes.
Yep.
when you guys were like officially started bringing you along when whatever was that 2020. So you guys show up in Mandan, and I'm walking around minding my own business. I'm just like,
Wait, I went to Mandan in 19, didn't I?
what's that? No, that was 20, I think, wasn't it?
Believe me, he would know.
I think I went with in 19 because we were
Was
freshly.
it 19? That doesn't
Because it was
sound
right
right
before
to me.
he asked me to be his girlfriend officially.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, whatever year that was. So, like, whatever year that was, he brought you to Mandan. And so I'm across the way or whatever, and someone says, "Hey, who's that with Bryce or whatever? Or who's that with Jade?" Well, you can see who I think about more now, whatever. So who's that with Jade or whatever? Because we're not, when you see someone new or whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, that's Jade's new girlfriend, Bryce Langerud, and I zeroed over. I was like, as in, so I went right over and. So me and you have been, together ever since or whatever kind of thing. But so, yeah, I had to throw that picture in and it's just been constant ever since. Just like, so how's Dad doing? Whatever. You remember that night in Glendon when I saw him with you at the concession stand?
You were fangirling so hard. And I introduced you. I'm like, this is my sister.
Good thing it takes him half an hour to prep the track because I needed every bit of it. So.
John, I got one last photo, John, you told me to save for last year. So.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Tequila. No, I mean, sake.
Yeah.
Sake.
Yeah.
You can't do that on television.
Well, sorry. That's just ketchup. It's clear
I
ketchup.
didn't even know you had that picture.
Oh, I got all kinds of pictures. You're lucky.
You're
and I'm lucky, too, because she probably could have sent some. Anyway.
You were in Canada. That's vinegar. They put vinegar
there
on
you
their
go. It was
fries up
vinegar.
there. So.
No, that was right here in Grand Forks, but great pictures. I can't believe we're like hour and 10 minutes into the show almost already. Do you guys have a favorite track before we get out of here, or do you rather be home, or is there somewhere you look forward to that's on your calendar every year?
I like being home.
Yeah.
And Devil's Lake too. Just our family is from there. Greenbush is always fun too. Our family.
Sure. Yeah, because you're from up. Yep. Okay. And how about you?
I'd say I probably like being home more, just the fact that it's in town.
Yeah.
But I have to say I do like Huset's.
Yeah, and see, that's still on my bucket list. I haven't been down there yet.
It is so that trip is so tough, but like I can't help it. It's much more higher stakes for you guys. But like, yeah, I'll do the 10 hours. I don't care. Like that's my favorite.
It's an awesome place, but I was a little anxious the first couple of races we went there because there's a concrete wall all the way around.
And I can see how that'd be intimidating.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your views also change. If you're young and you're there for the ride to watch your dad race, that's a little different than having to foot the bill to go up there and race with your team for the weekend. You know what I mean?
Right.
You start thinking, oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost?
And now you're with someone that never wrecks, and then he has the biggest wreck of his career, like there too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was that the scariest time for you? Is being a racer wife or girlfriend?
It was, but then also I saw him go off in like 1 and 2 in town here once, and that's where he kind of toppled over, and I didn't see where he landed because I was sitting in 4, and that was the first time I'd ever seen him wreck. So I was pretty worried, and then I went down to the trailer, and he ended up asking me if I needed a hug, even though he's the one that just went through that. But he always reassured me that the safest place he can be is in the car because he's got the harness, the Hans, the everything. So I was really scared when he hit the wall in Huset's, but I was trying to think like he's still like buckled in, so hopefully it's not terrible. But
and then to kind of throw Savanah into that, when was Dustin's bad one at Ada?
I actually just posted that on TikTok the other day because it got taken down, but they put up the guidelines. But that was probably 3 years,
3 years ago.
4 maybe.
That was an
years
AMOD,
ago.
right?
Yep.
That was his AMOD, and I was not there. I usually always go to Ada, but I didn't. And then Ashley Scow called me.
I'm glad you weren't because that was
a
yeah.
bad wreck.
I actually was just like, oh wow, like taking him in just to be sure. Like I was just like having a drink on the patio, talking with my friend, and she's like, well, do you need to go there? I'm like, oh, I don't think so. Like he's fine. And then I saw the roll, and then that kind of. Then I got a little teary-eyed because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I wasn't there because I probably would have freaked out.
That is so rare there, but that happened to Mike Balkin back in 2000. And once you start going, you don't stop until you're damn near in the trees down there. So
what about you? What's your scariest moment at the racetrack?
Scariest?
I don't get in too much trouble, so I don't know.
There are. I don't. Yeah,
is he going to make it to the bathroom in time before he
leaves? You're going to make it up the steps. Yeah, you're going to make it back up in time.
Yeah, the going down's a lot easier for me than the making it back up.
How much laundry at the end of this weekend?
Yeah, right. We probably got to wrap things up here.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you have to go back to work, and I'm guessing you probably have to go back to work, and you probably have to go back to work. I'm going to go get ready to, I'm actually prepping my liver for tonight already. I want to thank, I never thought you would come here, my wonderful wife, Laurie. I'm so glad she's here. You girls are awesome. And that's the reason why I thought this group would be perfect, because you guys are so cool. There we go. Stephen, again, thank you. We'll be at the Broken Drum at 5 o'clock tonight and giving the drum some love. If you want to come and hang out, I know there's a ton of other things going on. East Side's the championship game. We've got UND women's basketball. We've got Grand Forks Central and Red River. Well, Central will be playing this afternoon. Red River playing tonight in the state hockey tournaments. So we got a lot of things going on. But you know what? If you get a chance, my good friend Scotty, I also want to mention him. His funeral is tonight at 7 o'clock. So I know there's going to be a lot of people there. But you know what? If you get a couple of minutes, swing into the drum. Ladies, thank you guys. I know when we were talking about your shop party, you guys usually have one coming up here. I'm hoping you're going to have it again, because I always have a great time at your parties too. You guys, we can't say enough good things about you. Laurie, thank you so much for coming in.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Stephen Lewis, Dale the producer, you guys always do such a great job of making this show go so good. And again, thank you guys. And again, our show today is brought to you by Rumor Sports Bar and Casino, where I'm going to be going as soon as we get off the air here, because a couple of people want to meet me out there. Check it out. You know, UND hockey, if they're in town, you can jump on the bus. If they're out of town, watch it on one of their 900 TVs they've got in there, wall-to-wall TVs. They're going to get you on buses to the games, to all the big concerts. You can bet on the horses. You can play bingo. You can do pull tabs. You can try any of your luck with charitable gaming. They're great lunch and dinner specials, $7 express lunch, tons of room for parties. Got the world-famous beer tower, Monday DJ Trivia Night. Great place, great atmosphere, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. In fact, stop in now, a sandwich and a side, just $7. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. Go check it out. Hey, Brew Brothers, 9 o'clock tonight. Not even sure if we're going to be open tomorrow. We'll see how it goes tonight, all right? Have a great day. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. We know the Forks are awesome. Grand Forks Best Source. We done give the Forks their identity back.